Here are the words that we learned so far. The 5 ones on the top that we learned in the first lesson. Then these we learned in the second lesson. Okay, so this was the second lesson, just for the record. This is for the words. Then we learned about the sounds. We said that we have vowels and consonants. That we have 10 vowels, which can be split in 2 groups. And then we also learned that we have 10 paired consonants. BP, BP, GK, DT, GŠ, ZS. And they are paired because when you pronounce them, all your posture of your mouth, of your lips, and of your tongue is exactly the same. The only difference is how you use your vocal cords. In the voiced ones, you need to start produce the sound earlier. Okay, and then we went through the entire alphabet. I will write it again. It's so easy. Okay, we have went through most of the letters, and we only left with these ones. However, I received many homeworks from you guys, and I asked you, your homework was to write all those letters and to pronounce those letters, and many people mispronounced them. They said A, B, V, G, D, E, J, Ž, Z, I, kratka, and that was correct. But starting from K, many people make mistakes because they continue in the same pattern. They say K, Le, Me, Ne, just in the same way as in the beginning, because in the beginning it's always E. They say B, V, G, D. And starting from here, it's not already, it's not K, but every letter has a different pronunciation and you must memorize it. Maybe I'll repeat it briefly, so that if you made this mistake, you can correct it. So it's K, L, M, N, O, P, R, S, T, U, F, H, C, Č, Š, Š, мягкий знак, твердый знак, Ю, Я. And some people also pronounce the sound and the sound in the same way, but in Russian language is different. This one is and you pronounce it with your teeth joined together. You say and when you say your mouth is open. You say There's a very big difference. And also, it comes to my mind, somebody made a mistake when writing the shape of the letter. When it came to letter Cha, they wrote it in this way, and they made this curl here, and this is wrong. This is not good. You must write the letter Che just like the number 4. So it's in this way. And this line must be straight. I can't here write it too straight because it's not very convenient to write, but it should be straight. And then if you write it in this way, it's here, then actually it looks like the letter U. because there are two ways how to write the letter U. You can write it this way, simple way, two straight lines, or you can make it make a little bit nicer, and you can write it in this way. Okay, so this is not chair, this is U. Hi Dan, nice to see you. Okay. Okay, now I think we can go through the rest of the letters. So I believe I think I'll have to rewrite everything again. So this cha, the sound cha. It sounds like the English ch, like China, China, ch. The sound is ch. The name of the letter is cha. The next letter, the letter sha. Sha. It doesn't have an equivalent in English. Then this letter, you must pronounce it as sha. 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 The letter sha has an equivalent in English language. It looks like this. It's sheep, sheep, sheep. The soft sign and the hard sign, they don't have the sound by themselves. They influence the sound which is written before it. So there is no way how to pronounce it. And I'll explain the functionality of it to you in one of the next lessons. This is the letter E. E. We already learned about it, like in land, land. U. U. Yeah, somebody made a mistake. The person called this letter as yo, but it should be U. And finally, the letter ya. And this is the basically alphabet. If you have questions, you can ask me now. Actually, we are not finished with alphabet yet. Somebody during our last lesson, somebody asked to show how to handwrite the letter sha and sha. And it's very easy. First, I write the letter sha. All the lines, they should be at the same level, like this. That's sha. Sha. And the letter sha is written in a similar way, like this, like this, like this. And then you add a little hook here. Sha. And let me, since we're here, try to explain what is the difference in pronunciation of these two letters. Sha is pronounced softly, like in English, like sheep. And when you pronounce the letter sha, your tongue is pointing your teeth. It's like here, your teeth, and it's somewhere here. Only the difference with English is that sha is longer. So it's sha. You must pronounce for a longer time. For example, shuka, cha sha. You pronounce sh, you drag it, And the letter sha is pronounced differently. It is it's pronounced in a hard way, and you must position your tongue differently. You must roll your tongue upwards, and the position of your tongue should be the same as if you're pronouncing the English letter R, R. And then instead of R, you say sha, sha. The main point is that your tongue must be pointed upwards. Sha, sh, sh, sho, shu, sha, sho, shu, she, she. Okay. I erased something that shouldn't erase. And this is the end of the Russian alphabet. But this is not the end of pronunciation. So maybe since people ask me to show how to write the letter sha, I should probably also show you how to write the letter tse. Tse. It's written in a similar way as sha. Tse. And it makes the English sound of S. Tse. Tse. Okay. So, and this is about all what I can tell you about the Russian alphabet. Now we will move on to the next topic of our lesson. And, before we leave the Russian alphabet, please welcome to write any any questions, any comments, remarks, objections. Okay. So since there are no comments, then we can move further. The stress. Russian language has stress. Most of the words that we have learned before, there is a question. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you very much. I know you understand. I know you're a good learner. Thank you very much. Previously, we learned very simple words which consist only of one syllable. For example, ya, tut, kot, zvuk. And since those words only consist of one syllable, you can't see any stress here. It's not obvious. But if you have a syllable which word which consists of two syllables, then you can clearly see the stress. Bukva. Bukva. In this word, the stress is on the first syllable. I would indicate it with a lowercase. Bukva. Bukva. In English, it is also present, and in all European languages, there is a phenomenon of stress. So I believe it's clear what I mean. Odenir, I'm very sorry. Odenir is saying that he can't hear anything, but other people, I think they can hear. Therefore, Odenir, I think that the mistake is somewhere on your side, and you can't hear me. Okay, let's continue. Bukva. And if you, let's say, make a mistake and you mispronounce it, and, you'll put the stress on the second syllable, then it will sound like bukva, bukva. And it is very clear, different pronunciation. From now on, we'll hear many words which will have more than one syllable. And immediately, I'm going to give you new words for today. Just give me a second. These are the new words for today. However, before I will explain about those words, I need to explain you some pronunciation rules. It is the time to mention the stress, because how you position the stress in the word will change the way the word sounds. Maybe. Let's take this first example. Молоко. The stress is on the last syllable. It has 3 syllables in total. Молоко. The stress is on the last one, and you will not read it as молоко, but instead you will read it as молоко. Молоко. You see that these two letters has changed from O to A. Молоко. Молоко. And actually, there are some rules of how the sounds change if they are not under stress. And this rule makes Russian language to sound or to look a bit like English, because in English you also have a difference between the way the words are written and they are pronounced. For example, in English language, if I'm not wrong, the word read, you can pronounce as read and read. In the past tense, I think it is read. The present is read, even if it is pronounced, even written the same way, but it has a different way. The pronunciation is different from the way it is spelled. And in Russian language, it is similar. However, in Russian language, there is only a limited number of rules which change the pronunciation, and I'm going to list them for you. The pronunciation only changes on places, on syllables which are not under stress. So if the syllable is under stress, then it is pronounced exactly the same way as it is written. But if it is not under stress, then here are 3 simple rules. If the vowel of the syllable is O, then it changes to A. The vowel ye changes to E. The vowel ya changes to E as well. For this. Only these rules. Those are basically, actually, there are more differences between spelling and writing, but these ones are the most important and the most noticeable. Those are the ones that create most confusion. And now we can move on. We can move on and learn the words. I'll pronounce each of them for you. I'll write the correct spelling. I'll only show you where the stress is falling. Молоко, молоко, milk. Slok, it means syllable. Slok, it means syllable. Only one syllable in the word slok. Слово. Слово. The stress is on the first syllable, and therefore this one will change to A. Слово. Слово. Хорошо. Хорошо. Because the stress is on the third syllable, then the first two must change to A. Хорошо. Хорошо. Which means good. Я говорю на русском языке хорошо. which means I speak Russian language well. Плохо. The stress is on the first syllable, and then you will read it as плохо. Яблоко. Яблоко. It means an apple. So these two would change to a. Яблоко. Яблоко. Apple. Okay. Okay, and maybe I give you all the words where O will change to A. Maybe I could give you an example when E would change to E. Let me look through. Сегодня, сегодня. Предложение. Let me just give me a second. No. Okay, I got the word. In one of the previous lessons, we learned the word brat, which means brother. And today we will learn the word sestra, which means sister. Sestra. Sister. Here, the stress is on the last syllable, and therefore, instead of saying sestra, we say sistra, sistra, sistra. Okay, so those were the new words. Those were the new words. Actually, there will be a little bit more of new words because I'm going to explain you another grammatical element of the Russian language, which is called the gender. Just to remind you that previously we learned these words. Yeah. Which means you. Oh, sorry. I'm getting confused. I and you, singular. Those kind of words, like I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, those words are called pronouns, personal pronouns. So today we're gonna touch on the personal pronouns. Guys, I would like to receive your comment about the speed of teaching. Is it too fast or too slow, or is it just nice? Because I can adjust. I can go slower and I can go faster, depending on how you like to have it. It's more convenient. Okay, perfect. Good. Sabrina says everybody says is good. Okay, guys, thank you very much. And I'll just continue. Learning pronouns in Russian is rather difficult. So we'll learn them step by step. They keep changing their shapes because of cases. So we'll learn them slowly. Today we're gonna learn only 3 more pronouns. One. And I got a warning that we're gonna finish in 10 minutes. Okay, I'll try to get as much information as I can. So on means he, Anna means she, ano means it. And since we already learned changes of pronunciation because of the stress, then you will not be surprised that it is pronounced slightly differently. On is pronounced is exactly the same way as it is written. On. Ana, this word has two syllables, ana, and the stress is on the second syllable. This is why this letter changes to a. Ana. We write ona, we say ana. And similar situation is with ano. Stress is on the second syllable, it changes to ano. And why I touched on these three syllables? It is because there is a big difference between the Russian language and English language. Because in English language, those two pronouns, he and she, are used only to call humans. Man and the woman. A man is he and the woman is she. And all other subjects, like animals or plants or products or houses, etc., they're all called as it. However, in Russian language, this is not the case. The man and the woman would be called he and she, just like in English. However, other subjects also could be called as on or ano or ana. It is because we have, I apologize, pronouns. There must be the letter S, pronouns, and it is like this, personal pronouns. In Russian language, we have such a thing as a gender. And in English language, only humans have a gender, but in Russian language, all nouns have a gender. And many nouns have a feminine gender, and we call, for example, a pen. Pen. And this is called ruchka, and this is feminine. This is a she. This is a she. And the phone, telephone, phone. This is a masculine, telephone. We'll call him he. The phone is he. And all nouns in Russian language have a gender. And when you learn a new word in Russian, then you must also learn which gender it has. However, there are some hints. When you hear the Russian noun for the first time, thank you very much, Han. Yep. When you hear the Russian word for the first time, then you often can get what is the gender. If you hear the noun, if the last word of the noun is a, for example, machina, see, the last word is a, then in 80% of cases, this would be a feminine gender. This would be her, she. Machina means a car. You don't need to learn this word today, this will come later. But just to show you an example, this is in 80% of cases, or maybe even 90% of cases, this would be a female. And if this is not, but there are exceptions, I'll show you. Mama is a female. Yeah, and you see, last letter is A. However, we also have Papa, and this is an exception. You also have A as the last letter, but this is a masculine gender. Just remember that if the last letter of the noun is A, then most probably it's female. Then if the last letter of a noun is masculine, is a consonant, then in like 95% of cases, this would be a masculine gender. I apologize. When we talk about the feminine gender, the last letter could be A or Ya. A or Ya. Then it is mostly feminine. Consonant, the last letter of the word is consonant, then it is mostly male, 90% of cases, over masculine. If the last letter of the word is O, then it is mostly neutral. Mostly neutral. I ask you to apologize me. Maybe my spelling of this word is incorrect because sometimes I hear the word neuter. I don't know which is better. Neutral, neuter. Maybe if somebody knows better than me, you can give me a suggestion or send me on Telegram or on Facebook. I'll adjust the quality of my lessons. Okay, and now we go through those words we learned before, and we see what are the genders of those words. Okay, so let's put everything together, and then we go one by one. I think we just have a few minutes left, just enough to go through those words and see. Neuter is no gender, neuter. But in Russian, it's considered a gender also. Neuter gender, neutral gender. There might be some confusions about terminology. Tak. Okay. No, it's not. Okay. Ya and ты, those are pronouns, and they can be of different genders. If I am a female, then it is feminine. If I am a man, then it is masculine. Ты, likewise. Therefore, not all pronouns can have a gender. You can say it's flexible. Тут, там, those are not nouns. Those would be adverbs, I would guess. Adverbs, or maybe prepositions. So they don't have genders. Kot, there is no vowel at the end. There's a consonant te. Therefore, it is masculine. Dom, likewise, it's masculine. Zvuk, masculine. Bukva, feminine. Brat, masculine. Eta is a pronoun, no gender. Mama is a feminine. Papa is masculine. It is an exception. It is an exception. Slok, masculine. Молоко, feminine. Слово, neutral. I don't have enough space, so I will delete the хорошо, плохо. Those are not nouns. And яблоко is neutral. And now we managed to finish the genders. Your homework would be to write down all those words that we have learned. I showed them twice, all those words. Please write them on paper and please pronounce for me. And this will be your homework until the next lesson, which will be on Wednesday. And here, I think there's 1 more minute left. Thank you very much for attending this class. It was a pleasure. I'm happy that you're sending me homeworks and you're showing your activity. I'm really